Welcome to Storybooks Network channel. People are defective by nature. Many have a bad temper, poor short-term memory, and poor foresight. People, however, live happy lives despite their flaws. This isn't simply because life is good or because we're pursuing happiness. It's also because the majority of us can overcome our shortcomings without too much difficulty. But there's a difference between understanding what you're up against and accepting it. As difficult as life can be at times, it's also gratifying and well worth the effort. Happiness is something that everyone strives for, according to ancient Greek philosophers. Aristotle and Plato were among the first to identify what makes people happy. John Locke claimed that it was partly out of a desire for social approval. The takeaway is simple: being happy is something you strive for. In reality, we can't find happiness on our own in the actual world. Seeing the larger picture is difficult, and finding the silver lining in a negative situation is much more difficult. Accepting a difficult situation and making peace with your imperfections can sometimes solve a difficult problem. Before you can move on from a tough situation, you must accept these 6 things. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell symbol, then select all notifications to never miss a video upload from us. You will not be popular with everyone. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to please everyone. This is an age-old drive that is as strong today as it was during the Pharaoh's reign, and it isn't limited to politicians and salespeople. We all want others to like us, so we do everything we can to make that happen, even if it means compromising our own happiness. However, there are some aspects of yourself that you cannot change, and others will inevitably evaluate you for them. It is your responsibility to accept that they will not be pleased with you. You'll never be able to make peace with yourself if you can't accept the truth that certain people will never like you. 2. Things go wrong in life. Accidents are certain to happen, no matter how careful we are. No matter how well you prepare, disaster will strike at some point. It is equally crucial to accept negative events and blunders as it is to avoid dwelling on them. You can't live in terror of horrible things happening, but pretending they didn't is the worst thing you can do. Even though it's easier to deal with a situation once it's finished, you'll still want to get on with your life and put it back together as quickly as possible. To move forward, you must accept that life is not flawless. It is inevitable that life will not always be picture perfect. 3. You'll never be able to live a full or happy life because of your fear. There are many things that will drive you insane in life. We're all capable of doing dumb things, but that doesn't mean we have to deal with them on a daily basis. Fear is a powerful emotion, and it's easy to become fixated on your own difficulties, refusing to acknowledge that others may have it worse. However, how you feel about your own difficulties is just as essential as how you feel about the problems of others. It's easy to feel confined and miserable if you're continually terrified and worried out for no apparent cause. However, don't let fear prevent you from living life to the fullest, whatever that means to you. 4. There is no such thing as a perfect time to do anything. It takes a lot of patience to wait for the ideal moment to act, but that doesn't imply there isn't one. It's sometimes best to wait until you're ready before confronting your anxieties, but other times it's necessary to put yourself out there before you're ready. Waiting for rainfall to pass will not make it go away. Sometimes the best course of action is to put on some rain boots and venture out into the rain. It's important to act when it's the right time to act. If you wait too long to do something, or if you wait and then don't act, you risk losing the opportunity or doing something much worse than your original intention. The silver lining is that if you can act quickly in unpleasant situations, they will become less painful over time. 5. Sorrow doesn't last forever. We're all bound to experience times of grief in our lives, no matter how joyful or powerful we are. If you can see past these terrible moments, you'll be better prepared to face the next challenge. When you accept your challenges, they will become less painful and less frequent, so don't try to ignore your unhappiness or make it go away. There are things that you can't change, and there are things you can accept. Most of the time, our mistakes help us grow and educate us about what we need to do. Sometimes you have to put your pride aside and say, "I'm sorry," or even just, "Thank you." 6. Some aspects of yourself are unchangeable. Accepting that we're all flawed is the most critical step. We all have restrictions, and at the end of the day, it's your obligation to work with what you've been given. Others simply aren't capable of making sound decisions. Our constraints are frequently something we can't change, but they're also something we must accept. Some of us yearn for acceptance, while others simply want to be liked. We can have the confidence to face our flaws, work through them, and find a way to go on in life. Accepting these realities is for most of us a simple question of comprehending that by working through our problems and failures, we may achieve something challenging. Accepting our limitations and responding to changes we can't prevent is what it's all about. There's nothing wrong with wishing for a better life, but you can't give up just because you aren't there yet. It's sometimes best to just do what you can and hope for the best. In the upcoming videos, we'll look at various topics. Thank you for taking the time to watch our channel.